Could we see Bray Wyatt, Kane, John Cena, and The Undertaker all at WrestleMania 35? What about Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn? We'll talk about all these superstars and more as we break down WrestleMania 35's rumors, spoilers, and matchups. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Quest Accepted wrestling video. If you're familiar with our content, you know that this is slightly different than what we normally upload. But if you're new here, please consider checking out some of our normal content. The Quest Accepted channel is all about making you guys laugh with our crazy nonsense. Doing things like sucking on the hottest lollipop in the world, eating surströmming, doing a little DIY, doing some gaming videos, whatever we feel like doing, but we just like to have fun, have a good time. So please check us out, go look at some of our videos, subscribe to us if you like it, and we greatly appreciate that because it definitely helps us out. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start talking a little bit of wrestling. A little wrestling here. I got some notes, so if I glance down, that's what I'm looking at. So our first thing that we're going to be talking about is the Women's Battle Royal. This will be on the pre-show, alright? And there's a lot of wrestlers here. I'm not going to name them all because that would take a bit, so I'm not going to do that. But we're just going to talk about who's going to win. Who do you think's going to win, Diana?
I don't know who's in it, Bry.
Shit. Well, the winner, I think, out of there's
Asuka. Asuka's going to win. That's what I think.
I was gonna say there's Asuka, there's Carmella, Naomi, Lana, the whole gamut of superstars. Basically, all the ones that aren't in the tag team match or the main event are in this match. Yeah, that's how this works. The ones that don't have an actual match, they put into a battle royal. That's what the men's has too, but we'll get there. So, anyways, I think that Asuka will win this as well, just because I think the way they took the title from her was a little nuts. We're actually going to get to that in more detail later when it comes to the main event, because I think there's a very specific reason why that happened. But I think she got kind of robbed a little bit. Foreshadowing. I've got a lot to talk about on that one. But I think Asuka got kind of screwed over there, obviously. But if she doesn't win, I think Nikki Cross could be a wild card to win. Feel like she's due for kind of a push, and she had a couple of promos about WrestleMania. I think it would be kind of cool. The other thing to think about is Lacey Evans. She's been popping out the last million Raws and pay-per-views and SmackDowns.
Yeah, she's really good at walking out, taking 6 steps, turning around, and walking away.
Yeah, basically, that's what she's been doing. And I think they're getting her ready for a big push, so what's better than having her win a Battle Royal at WrestleMania?
Or walk down to the Battle Royal and then turn around and walk away.
So that could be a thing. She could make an appearance. I'm sure she'll make an appearance regardless, but she could make a wrestling appearance at WrestleMania.
She might get in the ring?
That would be welcomed, I think. Because she hasn't done anything since the Royal Rumble. Where she did very well, actually. That was my cat's tail, if you saw that across the screen. Anyways, point of being, we're going to say Asuka is going to win this match, unless Lacey Evans or Nikki Cross has anything to do with it. So next up on the card, we have the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which, just like the women, is the place where all the guys who don't have matches go to have a match.
They have a WrestleMania moment without being important.
On the pre-show.
That nobody watches.
And there's going to be a lot of people in there. You've got people from Braun Strowman to Bobby Roode to the Hardy Boys to Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson to Lucha House Party, and the list goes on.
What the hell is Lucha House Party?
And this is why I'm doing most of the talking.
When did they become a house party?
When they became the Lucha House Party.
Okay, fine, whatever.
Just don't even worry about it anymore. You know, I'm not going to explain things to you. Moving on. So basically, yeah, so that's what we've got going on here. In this match, I think Braun Strowman is going to win. I don't really know who else is going to compete with him.
Physics.
The two guys from SNL are definitely not going to win. Michael Shea, that was his name?
I don't know what's going on
Michael
with this
Shea
guys
and Colin
from
Jost.
SNL thing, and I'm just going to stay
There's two
out
guys
of
from
it.
SNL, and then they're in the match. It's just dumb, whatever it is.
Sounds dumb.
So, anyways, Braun Strowman's going to win. If he doesn't win, if something weird happens, I think EC3 has a shot of being kind of a wild card because he hasn't done a whole lot since he got brought up. So there's a chance that he could do something, but who knows at this point. So I would say Braun Strowman or EC3, something like that. But the interesting thing to bring up is that Rob Gronkowski retired this year. Diana's sad about that. She knows who Rob Gronkowski is. Yeah.
I'm in love with Rob Gronkowski.
He retired this year, and it was 2 years ago at WrestleMania that he made an appearance in the Battle Royal match.
I screamed.
And I would say that with him retiring this year, there's a good chance he could make an appearance again. It could be with Mojo Rawley. It could be by himself. Could be a surprise thing. Maybe he doesn't actually compete. Maybe he just like walks down with Mojo Rawley. I don't know, but you know, there's always been rumors about the Gronk coming to the WWE. So whether that's a real thing or not, I don't know. But something to think about. Look out for Gronkowski. He could be coming at you. So next up in the card, the last show of the pre-show, we have Buddy Murphy, the champion, Cruiserweight champion, going up against Tony Nese. And not gonna lie, I don't really follow 205 Live very often, so I mean, I'm aware of wrestlers, I'm aware of what they do, I'm aware who the champion is. I don't really watch it, so it's gonna be a good match though. I know that Tony Nese just won the tournament to face Buddy Murphy, so you know, Buddy Murphy always puts on a pretty good match too. He's a pretty interesting wrestler to watch, so it'll be a good match. I don't have much commentary on it. So that being said, Buddy Murphy retains. That's my prediction. That's a spoiler. That's not a prediction. That's a spoiler. So before we get into any of the main matches on the card, I do want to address a few rumors of people that don't have matches, confirmed matches, yet. We've got, well, first of all, we've got Elias. I don't remember what his actual title is for this. I don't know if he's the official performer or the headlining musical act or whatever it's supposed to be.
He's the headlining musical act in my heart.
God, whatever. Anyways, so Elias, he doesn't have a match, but he's the performance talent, whatever the heck it is, along with Alexa Bliss being the host. So I think that Elias, he's very stoked about not being interrupted at WrestleMania. He said that a couple times on television.
He's definitely getting hit in the head with his own guitar.
And he's definitely going to be interrupted. I don't know who it's going to be, though. So here's the deal. We've got, like I mentioned earlier, we've got Bray Wyatt and Kane. Both of them are, from what I understand, you know, rumors and all that stuff, both of them are scheduled to be there for WrestleMania week. So they're there. Why are they there? I don't know. Are they going to be in a match? Are they just there for promotion, publicity? I don't know. But Bray Wyatt and Kane are there. John Cena, of course, is going to be at WrestleMania because he's John Cena, but he doesn't have a match yet. So what are the chances John Cena comes in while, you know, Elias is singing and he makes fun of him and comes out and they have a little scrap, maybe an impromptu match. I don't know.
But
Sami
would we
Zayn.
care?
John Cena just being there.
Mm-hmm.
Sami Zayn has been cleared to compete and supposed to be back soon, so he could be a Night After WrestleMania return or a WrestleMania return. One of the two. Lars Sullivan is another kind of a dark horse prediction, some people are saying. I don't think he's going to be there. I don't think Lars Sullivan's going to be around for a while. If you don't even know who that is, that might be telling why. He came up from like NXT, was supposed to be a big deal on Raw, had some panic attacks, and hasn't been seen since. So
like real panic attacks?
Like real life panic attacks. He didn't want to, yeah. But it was supposed to be, from what the rumors say, Lars Sullivan was supposed to face John Cena at this year's WrestleMania, and that's not happening now, unless it does, but I don't think it
just
will.
Out of nowhere.
Right? No build up, both of them show up and do it.
Nobody knows who Lars Sullivan is, and John Cena's like, you.
Let's do it. Dean Ambrose could be up to some kind of shenanigans. He's not scheduled for a match, and I know, yes, obviously, his contract is up, and he's leaving, going to AEW. I don't know about that one, necessarily. The WWE never mentions that type of stuff. Whenever a superstar's contract is up, they never bring it up. They never talk about it, with the exception of, I mean, it happens occasionally. They did it with CM Punk and that whole big deal, but the fact that they're talking about Dean Ambrose and moving on and his contract's expiring, and they're talking about it way too much, and I feel like
if he was actually leaving to go to a competing company, they'd be like,
I don't know, but I think the chances of him making an appearance are pretty high. I don't think he's actually leaving the company. I think it's all just a great big storyline, and I think he's going to be around. But he could make an appearance at some point in the night with Elias, or he could make an appearance with the Seth Rollins versus Lesnar match, or he could jump in to help Roman Reigns, maybe beat Drew McIntyre. I don't know, but watch out for Dean Ambrose. He could be around. Lastly, of course, we have The Undertaker, who nothing has been said about anything for The Undertaker. Some people say him and the WWE are having issues, but from what I've found out, it looks like The Undertaker has been actually confirmed for the event in Saudi Arabia this year. So he's not retired. He's still with the company. He hasn't missed a WrestleMania match in 19 years, so that's a thing.
He probably will have something at WrestleMania then, maybe.
So he might be there, but I can't say for sure what he's doing. But maybe he pops out and beats up Elias. I don't know. The bottom line is there's a lot of big names out there.
Imagine The Undertaker like coming out of a coffin and just walking up and beating him with a guitar.
Not really.
Why?
That's not really Undertaker style. But
he had a whole bunch of druids with him and they all had guitars and they all beat Elias.
That could be a thing.
That would be hilarious.
Druids with guitars. Indeed.
My new band.
But anyways, yeah, there's a lot of superstars that are big that have not been confirmed or anything like that. So you never know. You never know what could happen. So there's a lot of rumors out there that these guys could jump in. So we'll see what happens. So our first match on the card, officially, off the pre-show.
Main show.
Main show. We have the SmackDown Tag Team Championship, where the Usos, the champions, face Ricochet and Aleister Black versus The Bar, and then Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura in a Fatal 4-Way match. So, there's not a whole lot of build up to this match.
Why are Rusev and Shinsuke a tag team?
They've been a tag team for a while now, and the short answer is probably because creative has nothing else to do with them at the time.
Okay.
Yep.
That's what it sounds like, so, alright.
So that being said, I'm not really sure. There's not a lot of build up for this match. It was actually made then the take-home show on SmackDown by Alexa Bliss as a way of punishing the Usos for letting the New Day they forfeit to the New Day to allow Kofi to move on to the WrestleMania. So she happens to pop out and punish them. I don't know what that means, if she was like punishing them as the host of WrestleMania, or if she was the mouthpiece for the McMahons, or if that was like a hint she might have some power in the future as like a GM or something. I don't think there's going to be any swerves here necessarily. I would say the Usos will be the ones to retain the titles. The only interesting thing to mention is that Aleister Black and Ricochet, they had a championship match on Raw.
Okay.
They lost.
Okay.
They're going to have a championship match at NXT TakeOver.
Which I don't understand.
Which is the night before. Because they won a tournament to... Because they're not fully on the main roster yet. They're still in NXT, kind of.
Oh, okay.
So they were in a tag team championship competition, and they're facing the champions now. So they're going to have a match at TakeOver. And then the next night, they're going to have a match at WrestleMania for the SmackDown. So they're having a match at all three major tag team titles in 1 week.
Okay.
So it's just interesting to see what'll happen on TakeOver. I don't know if they win, are they going to become double champions? I don't know. It's just kind of weird how they're playing this whole thing out. So kind of like Diana just said, I'm not really sure why they're in that tournament, but we'll see what happens. So then maybe they could win both titles. It'd be interesting to look at.
Weird.
So I'm picking the Usos though, but if Aleister Black and Ricochet win the NXT titles, some shenanigans could be going down. So we're going to talk about Baron Corbin and Kurt Angle next, in Kurt Angle's farewell match, his assuming last match, retirement match. So supposedly leading up to this on Raw and SmackDown, he's been facing opponents that he's handpicked as people he wanted to wrestle. But the Baron Corbin thing was the one person he couldn't pick, and he was supposedly forced to go against Baron Corbin.
Weird.
So that's what the management wanted. That's what Vince wanted. So, but anyways, some people are saying out there's rumors. This is where John Cena comes in. Some people are saying that they would like John Cena to be the one to wrestle Kurt Angle in his last match, because Kurt Angle gave John Cena his big break, more or less, and had his first real main match. I don't necessarily think that's going to happen. It's kind of tradition as a wrestler in your final match to lose. That's just the way it is, the way it's always been. So you put over the next talent, the next upcoming talent. So you lose in your retirement match. But I don't really know why John Cena would benefit from retiring Kurt Angle necessarily. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time it did something weird, but I could see this being Baron Corbin's moment. He goes in there, he wins, and then over the next couple months, he runs around saying, I retired Kurt Angle. I'm so great. I'm a badass. So I think it's a good opportunity for Baron Corbin, and I think that match will go according to plan, which is not what fans want to see, but I think that's what's going to happen, and my prediction...
I think it'd be pretty cool.
Well, there you go. You heard it from Diana. It's going to be cool.
It'd be pretty cool.
But my prediction, Baron Corbin wins the match. One more quick thing to add about that, though. There are some rumors out there that Jason Jordan could make an appearance as Kurt Angle's illegitimate son. That whole angle that was going on.
That angle?
Kurt Angle. But I don't think that's going to happen because Jason Jordan, from what I understand, is pretty much retired because of his neck. And so... Dear
God, let that not happen.
I think they're going to let that kind of, that little storyline die, hopefully, because that was a terrible storyline anyways. So next we're going to talk about The Miz versus The Shane.
The Miz versus The Shane.
Shane O'Mac.
Oh, boy.
They've been building this match up for a long time. The best in the world. Best in the world.
Best in the world. Mrs. Dad's ugly. Cry face.
Yeah. Then they lost the titles, and then they turned on each other, and blah, blah, blah. It's been being built up for a long time, and honestly, I haven't really cared too much about the whole angle. I'm a big Miz fan, but the whole Miz and Shane, I'm not really understanding it at all. I think it's just a reason to get Shane McMahon on TV for WrestleMania.
After Shane started calling Mrs. Dad ugly, I was just like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
It's just stupid.
But the fact that they're making The Miz look so strong, the fact he just beat Sanity in a 3-on-1 handicap match on SmackDown, which is insane to me. That makes no sense at all. But that makes him look very strong.
Insanity.
Indeed. It is. This is why I'm doing all the talking, is she's just the pretty face.
I make puns. I suck.
Anyways, so I don't really think there's too much to it. I think The Miz wins because there's really not a whole lot. He wins. He takes the title of best in the world and then runs with it.
What kind of match is this?
This is a Falls Count Anywhere match, yeah? Yeah, Falls Count Anywhere match.
What does that mean Shane is gonna do?
Well, of course, as usual, this is a big pay-per-view. This is WrestleMania. So Shane is probably going to climb up something very tall and jump off of it.
And then he's gonna lay there and look like he's dead.
And then they'll both lay there dead for like 5 minutes, and then something will happen. But so Shane could jump off something very tall. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. But I still think The Miz wins, and he becomes the best in the world.
Without a title.
Yet. That's coming soon. Next up, we have our Women's Tag Team Championship. That would be the Fatal 4-Way. We've got Sasha Banks and Bayley, the champions, against Beth Phoenix and Natalya, Nia Jax and Tamina Snuka, and the Iconics. Beth Phoenix, of course, coming out of retirement for this match.
I like her. I was sticking my tongue out about the Iconics. I hate them.
There's, once again, not really any build-up to this match. It's just a match for the titles, and they're throwing their tag teams out there. Beth Phoenix is supposed to be, I think, the attention grabber to get people to watch the match.
I have a lady crush on Beth Phoenix.
She's pretty cool. And her husband is Edge.
Who I have a man crush.
A man crush?
A regular crush on?
Anyways, nothing crazy about this. I think Sasha Banks and Bayley retain, unless there's a chance that the Iconics kind of cheat their way to a victory. I mean
Tweedledee and Tweedledum win by some miracle?
Yeah, I don't think they're really that great wrestlers. They're really good on the microphone, and they're kind of entertaining as heels, but as far as wrestling goes, I feel like they're kind of a step back as far as the Women's Revolution is concerned. But, I could see them getting the titles at some point in the near future. So, WrestleMania could be a spot for them to do it, or they just give Bayley and Sasha their WrestleMania moment and let them win and keep the titles and celebrate and all that fun stuff. So now we have the United States Championship match where the champion Samoa Joe faces Rey Mysterio. The interesting thing to take note here is that Rey Mysterio maybe hurt his ankle on Raw.
He hurt his ankle, or he hurt his ankle.
Or he hurt his ankle on Raw. I don't know what. The reports say that it's real, but at the same time, to me, that seems,
awkward.
Pretty
Convenient
interesting.
timing.
Oh, he hurt his ankle. Oh my gosh, he can only make WrestleMania. But I did actually watch the video where it supposedly got hurt, and it does look gnarly, but it does look like he might have tweaked something in there. So I could understand if he actually did hurt himself. So the rumors are that they're going to keep doing their thing until Sunday, and if Sunday morning he's good to go, then they'll go forward with the match. And if not, this could get interesting. At that point, does
John Cena?
R-Truth? Does R-Truth step in?
What's
and do
up?
his thing? He just lost the title not too long ago. Does John Cena step in? Which doesn't make too much sense, because if he stepped in, you'd almost assume he would win. And why would you just give him the title so quick if he's not going to be around for a while as a part-timer? I don't know. I mean, let's talk about Brock Lesnar, though, if that's the case. So, anyways, it's just, John Cena get in there? Does R-Truth get involved? Who knows what happens, but
Why would you bring up Brock Lesnar?
I still think that the match will go as planned. Samoa Joe, Rey Mysterio. Even after he hurt his ankle, he still did very well. So unless this is fake and the ankle injury is fake, or real, I should say. Anyways, unless they want Rey Mysterio to be hurt for storyline purposes, I think he'll be in the match. The other interesting thing to note here is that his son, Rey Mysterio's son, Dominic, is going to be in attendance.
Oh.
So,
does his son wrestle?
I think he might, and I want to say that he was involved in storyline with Eddie Guerrero and stuff a long time ago. So Dominic could be involved somehow. I don't really know why they would just all bring him in.
Does Dominic go to the Lucha house party?
Probably not. So in the end, I think Samoa Joe
No.
is going to be the one to walk out with the championship.
I say Samoa, no. I'm all about Rey Mysterio.
All right, well, then Diana says Rey Mysterio.
No. I'm all about yay Mysterio.
So now we're getting to the bigger matches on the card. All right, we've got Bobby Lashley, the Intercontinental Champion, versus Finn Balor. This match, there's not a whole lot to it. They've been building it up forever. They've exchanged the titles a couple times. But the only thing you really have to note here is that Finn Balor's coming out as the Demon King. Vince McMahon is really high on the Demon King, thinks it's a really cool thing, and is kind of wanting to potentially make that character undefeated for a long time, kind of have a streak similar to The Undertaker's. So if he's coming out as the Demon King, he's going to win. The Demon King wins the Intercontinental title and puts this feud to rest. So now we have Triple H versus Batista.
Ooh.
And Batista coming out of retirement. I guess he was never retired.
He went and made movies for a while.
Yeah, he just left the company. So he came
was like
back.
Almost 10 years ago, wasn't it?
No, I mean, he left a long time ago, but he also came back like 3 years ago.
Oh.
Or something. It was like 3 or 4. It wasn't that long ago. He came back and won the Royal Rumble. And then some crap happened and he left again. But anyways, point being, it's a no holds barred match. This is supposed to be, from what the whole storyline is, Batista's farewell retirement match. And he wants it against Triple H. And the caveat there is if Triple H loses, then Triple H's career is over. So it's like Batista's final match, but if he wins, then Triple H is done too. And I'm pretty sure Triple H is going to win. He's still relatively young as far as wrestlers are concerned. He's in his, 50s or something. But the thing is if Triple H was to lose, that would be his retirement match. And why would they put Batista over with someone like Triple H? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
That is weird.
I don't think it's going to happen. I think Triple H wins. I mean, Triple H was the one that beat Sting. And Triple H lives to wrestle another day. So now we've come to AJ Styles versus Randy Orton.
My heart.
I'm very partial to both wrestlers, as is Diana.
I've held hands with one of them.
Randy Orton. Yes. Yes, I've liked Randy Orton since back in his Legacy days when he was like the biggest, baddest ass heel ever.
You mean the hottest dude on the planet ever?
And AJ Styles, I didn't know who he was until he came to the WWE, really.
Like, the first time AJ Styles came out, I loved him.
But that Royal Rumble match, I was like, wow, this guy's awesome. And ever since then, he's been one of my favorite wrestlers. So I know he's been around forever in TNA, but who watches TNA? I mean, really. Who?
I think you made me watch it once.
Anyways, point being, this is a match that the WWE has been building up towards for a long time. I think it will be a really good match. It's hard to say who's going to win. I really don't know.
RKOs and phenomenal forearms. How do you pick?
I think there's going to be a lot of RKOs. There's going to be a lot of styles clashes, a lot of phenomenal forearms. There's going to be all kinds of stuff.
This is my main event.
This is going to be a good match.
Unless Gronk comes out in the Battle Royal, and then I'm just done.
Done in the pre-show. Should be a good match. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say AJ Styles wins. I don't think any one of them really benefits from beating the other, so unless Randy wins and then he goes on to get like one more good championship push, but I have no idea. So I'm going to say AJ Styles, and that's kind of a guess. So,
well, since we both love both of them, I will pick Randy Orton so we keep it fair.
All right.
And I hold hands with him.
So I'm going AJ Styles. We'll see what happens. So now you've got the big dog, Roman Reigns, going up against Drew McIntyre.
The tall British guy. Irish guy?
I think he's Scottish.
Scottish guy.
Yeah.
He's hot.
Yeah. Anyways, you know, I feel like this match is just something that they gave Roman Reigns to do because, you know, from what I've read, he was supposed to be in his 5th straight WrestleMania main event this year. But, you know, with the whole leukemia thing and whatnot, obviously he had to drop the title and all that stuff. So, but he's back now, and I think they were just throwing him on the card, giving him someone as big and athletic as he is. So Drew McIntyre, here you go. And I'm kind of torn. I would like Roman Reigns to win, you know, kind of like a good story of coming back to wrestling and doing his thing. That's, you know, it's awesome. He's healed and good to go. But I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want Drew McIntyre to win. I think Drew McIntyre is due for a good push, a good title push, and I feel like putting the big dog down, and then, you know, spoilers.
That was morbid.
It was pretty morbid. Spoilers. I'll jump ahead just for a quick second. I think Rollins is gonna win. We'll get there though. But with Rollins winning the title, and then you have Drew McIntyre like, I beat up Roman Reigns, and now I'm coming for your title. Like, I feel like that could be a thing.
That could be Drew McIntyre's.
Right, exactly. He beats Roman Reigns, and he goes after his Shield brethren, Seth Rollins. I don't know if he really beat Seth Rollins after he won the title so quickly, but they could have a feud for a while that culminates in Drew McIntyre winning. I don't know.
At SummerSlam.
It's possible. But anyways, I don't really know. I'm just going to say that Roman Reigns is going to win, though, because I don't really see them doing that. So I think Roman Reigns wins. But, again, this is where Dean Ambrose comes into play. You know, does maybe Dean Ambrose have a part in this if he's not actually leaving the company? Does he pop in there and help Roman Reigns win? Who knows? It's a possibility. But I would like to see McIntyre win. I think it's going to be Roman Reigns, though. So now we've come to our WWE Championship match, where the new Daniel Bryan goes up against Kofi Mania, Kofi Kingston. I kind of feel like this is a given that Kofi Kingston takes this title.
Dear God, I hope.
I mean, as cool as Daniel Bryan's heel run has been, I think the push behind the crowd right now for Kofi Kingston is insane. And I think it would be cool for him to win the title. But what does that mean for the New Day at that point? Do they break up?
No.
Well, exactly.
No.
Well, how does it work?
So, wait. You've got 3 dudes in the New Day, right?
Right.
So if Kofi is the champion, the other 2 can be the tag team champions. And then they have more belts than you can count on one hand if you only have 2 fingers.
That was a great analogy.
Shut up.
Sorry. Anyways, if Kofi wins, I'm kind of wondering if they might break up the New Day at some point, somehow, some way. But
where will I get my Flappy Jacks?
I don't know. You can make them in the kitchen. I think Kofi Kingston wins, though. He's got a great push behind him right now. And the fact that he overcame basically, what? He overcame a gauntlet match, was in a match, and then didn't win it. And then it was another gauntlet match and more or less won, but then lost last second to the extra competitor Daniel Bryan. And the New Day tag team goes into a gauntlet match and they beat everybody and then they win. Like, they're really making them look really strong right now. So if Kofi went in there and won the title, I don't think it would make the belt look weak by any means. And Kofi's been around for a long, long time.
Kofi's a badass.
He's worked really hard. He definitely deserves the push. So I think Kofi wins the title. So.
I feel like Kofi is a badass and deserves it.
Yeah, I think he does too. And
he's been around a long time and he's taken a lot of stupid hits from losers and he's just blossomed into something so beautiful.
Blossomed into something, as he's like towards the end of his career, he's blossomed into something beautiful.
His buns.
Yes. Anyways, Kofi Kingston wins the title.
All the way.
Takes it. Done.
Throw Daniel Bryan in the dumpster. Move on.
To add one more thing to it though, something I did just forget. This is also where Kevin Owens could get involved.
KO Mania.
Apparently, from behind the scenes, Vince McMahon originally wanted Kevin Owens to face Daniel Bryan for the title at WrestleMania. But you can't ignore the fans sometimes, and this is when the Kofi thing happened. But Kevin Owens was supposed to get the shot, and then Vince McMahon gave Kevin Owens the spot or whatever, and I don't know. It just, Kevin Owens could get involved, but that's only if he's going to be heel. He's a face right now, so pretty sure he's a face right now. But regardless, Kevin Owens could get involved. This is supposed to be his match, but at the same time, it could just be nothing. So now we're at the Universal Championship match, where Brock Lesnar faces Seth Rollins for the title. They've been building this up forever. Royal Rumble, basically when Seth Rollins won the Royal Rumble, everyone knew he was going to pick Brock Lesnar. You know, as I've talked about before 1,000 times, I feel like every pay-per-view I'm like, Brock Lesnar's going to drop the title. Brock Lesnar's going to drop the title. And he never drops the title. Until it finally happened with Roman Reigns, and then Roman Reigns got leukemia, and they gave it back to Brock Lesnar. So, this case, I am saying once again, Brock Lesnar's going to drop the title to Seth Rollins, and I hope I'm not eating my words, because, dear God, don't give him the title. I've always been a Brock Lesnar fan, but you can't have a part-time wrestler holding your main belt for like 2 years. Like, that's just ridiculous. Like, give someone on your roster the damn belt.
Someone on your roster who's actually on your roster full-time and actually wrestles like regularly.
Yeah. Although, the interesting thing to note is that on Raw, Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar had their little confrontation, and Seth Rollins actually kicked Brock Lesnar's ass. Which is kind of weird, because normally it's the opposite. Like, you know, the person that's going to lose gets really good and kicks some ass. So I would have expected Brock Lesnar to beat up Seth Rollins on Raw. And from one of the rumors I read, that was changed last second on Raw, because it was going to be Brock Lesnar walking away tall, standing tall. But they changed it for some reason last second on Raw. So I don't know if that's a legit rumor or not, but it's still kind of weird. But for all that is good and holy, Seth Rollins better burn it down and take that title.
And you know what? I'm sick of having faith in the writers, so Brock Lesnar's gonna win. And then disappear for 6 months. And be at SummerSlam. Against Roman Reigns.
Again, though, I bring up Dean Ambrose. Could Dean Ambrose get involved? I don't know.
Dear God, I hope so.
But there's another interesting note as well. No. I read this not too long ago. Side note, I think it's the Vegas odds. So there's actually betting odds on this. The betting odds are favoring Brock Lesnar right now. So
damn you, Vegas.
So if you put some money on Seth Rollins, you think he's gonna win, you could win some money. Because Brock Lesnar is the favorite. How you actually bet odds on these matches, I'm not sure, considering it's scripted, but I won't argue against odds.
I feel like the sports book doesn't know the results beforehand.
Well, they don't, but still, it just seems kind of weird.
Yeah.
But anyways, so I still think in the end, bam, Seth Rollins wins. Burns it down and gets the hell out of there with the
whatever the odds are, $2 says Brock Lesnar wins.
Okay, sounds good. Left-handed shake, that's always good.
It's official that way.
A left-handed shake?
Yeah.
So now we're at the main event. The creme de la creme.
Dirty.
one of the biggest main events in my opinion, and the internet's opinion, for a long, long time. All right.
It's not my opinion. I don't get it.
We've got winner take all Ronda Rousey, the Raw Women's champion, against Charlotte Flair, the SmackDown's Women's Champion, and Becky Lynch,
the champion of jail.
So let's go back a little bit here. The rumors had it that Vince McMahon didn't think that Asuka versus going against whoever won the Fatal 4-Way for the title, he didn't think that'd be that exciting. And if I had to guess, it'd be Mandy Rose. So Asuka versus Mandy Rose for the title.
Yeah.
And Vince thinks that wouldn't have been a match people really cared about. And he's not really wrong. I wouldn't have cared that much. So the rumors had it that he had Asuka drop the belt to Charlotte, which isn't really good for Asuka. I think she deserves better than that. But he gave Charlotte the title so that Charlotte could bring the title into the triple threat match to make it more exciting and get people more involved in that match, which I think is actually kind of a decent business move. Yeah. It just sucks for Asuka. So one interesting little thing for this match is the rumors out there that Ronda Rousey is going to take some time off after this match is over. So that being said, I think most people out there think that Becky Lynch is going to win the title, me included. I said titles, I guess I should say.
Whole pile of titles.
Which is another interesting thing people are talking about. Do they think they're going to be unified titles? You know, they're just going to have them separate? I don't really know.
Is Becky Lynch going to be prancing her Irish ass across both brands?
And, you know, it's going to be like an undisputed champion situation. I don't think they're going to merge the titles. I think that would be a disastrous move on their part. Because, I don't know, it'd be the same as if the men's championships got merged. Like, you've got a full roster over here and a full roster over here. And if you've got one title, then there's a whole roster, basically, of people that are just twiddling their thumbs with nothing to do.
Are there tag titles for dudes on both brands?
Yes.
Okay.
We talked about both matches tonight.
I was there.
I was there.
Well, I was just trying to think how many, if there were, besides the women's tag titles, if there were any more that were cross-brand.
Well, anyways, I think it'd be a bad idea to merge them because that's kind of against, that's like kind of countering the women's revolution thing. Like, more opportunities, more belts, so many people, and then just all of a sudden to merge them, and then next thing you know, like I said, there's less titles. So I don't think they're going to do that. I think it'd be a really dumb decision.
Unless there's going to be less shows.
So they're just going to have both titles for a while, and for whatever reason, maybe they'll take one of them from her and be like, you can't be champion of both, or maybe they'll, you know...
Maybe they'll have her thrown in jail and strip both of her titles from her.
Or maybe they'll just have her defend each one separately. I don't know, but I don't think they're going to... It's not going to be a unified match. They're not going to put the titles together.
We'll see on Monday.
We'll see. But getting back to the point that I was talking about, Ronda Rousey potentially taking time off after WrestleMania. So, there's been rumors out there about that for a while. She's under contract until 2021, but she's wanted to start raising a family and things like that. So, what could happen is maybe Becky Lynch comes back or Becky Lynch comes in the match and beats Ronda Rousey, right? Mm-hmm. Ronda Rousey then takes time off, and she's gone for, you know, the rest of the year, more or less. And then she pops up next WrestleMania season, and she's like, I want my rematch against Becky Lynch in a one-on-one match. Kind of go from there. Because some people are saying that's why Charlotte got added to the match to begin with, is because Ronda Rousey was going to take some time off, and they didn't want one half of their main event to be gone from TV afterwards. So they added Charlotte to it so that Charlotte could be around, Becky Lynch could be around, and then when Ronda leaves, she's out of the picture for a while. So that could be a thing. But, you know, they could be building towards next year's main event when it's just Becky versus Ronda. And that could be Ronda's moment to come back and, like, I want my titles back. I'm coming for you, Becky. So with all that being said, Becky Lynch wins.
Okay.
She wins. Same thing as Kofi Kingston. They've been pushing Becky Lynch really hard for months and months now.
Well, and the crowd wants Becky.
And she hasn't gotten her moment, and this is going to be her moment. So Becky Lynch wins, and she takes both titles, and whatever happens from there happens from there. Alright, everyone, so that's going to do it for our WrestleMania predictions, spoilers, rumors, matchups. If you think I'm right about certain things, comment below. If you think I'm wrong about some things, comment below. Tell me what I'm wrong about. Go ahead and click the like button. As again, if you're familiar with our channel and you've seen us before and you're not subscribed, you're bad and you should subscribe. If you're not familiar with us, go check out our other nonsense and then subscribe. And we'll catch you next time on another Quest Accepted. This is the cat that keeps jumping around the screen the whole time. Her name is Neffy, and she's a cute little black cat. And she's, 9 years old?
Yeah.
And she's loud and boisterous and likes to get in our business. But that's what she does. Huh, Neffy?